Hey y'all, I'm Jim. Welcome to Sunrise Farm. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today happens to be February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to my beautiful wife. I pray that she has such an amazing day and knows how much that I love her. And I pray the same for y'all. If you have that special someone in your life, I pray that you honor them and cherish them and let them know how much they mean to you. Today we're going to talk about 8 seeds that we should be starting right now to plant out in our garden next month, or the 1st of April, I should say. I'm in South Carolina, Zone 8B, so if you're up north a little further, you may have to adjust a little bit more forwards for this timing. But we'll talk about 8 things that we should be seeding right now, or at least I'm seeding right now, and we'll also talk about 12 additional things, so 20 things total, that you should seed by the 1st of March, the first week of March. So let's take a look at them. You can see in front of me, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I actually started a lot of my tomatoes and peppers on the first week of January because I wanted to go through the up potting stage to make them bigger and stronger. I'm doing market farming, so I have a different reason to start them much earlier. And you can see here, I've already started up potting some of them. I'm in that process now. I've got a ton of them to up pot. You can see I've kind of up potted a bunch of them here. And I've got so many peppers. So tomatoes and peppers are obviously 2 of the 8 we should be seeding now. If you're in zones 8B, like myself, zones 8 rather, or a little further south, or perhaps even zone 7, this is probably going to work good for you. And that is, our last frost date is the end of March. So generally speaking, I'm aiming for about the first week of April to actually plant everything out in my garden. So when it comes, especially when it comes to things like peppers, tomatoes, eggplants is a third one, you want to plant those at least 6 weeks early to your last frost date. That gives them plenty of time to germinate, to grow, to get strong, to where you can plant that seedling in your garden. So what other things can you plant right now, or should you start right now? Well, you should also start lettuces. I've started about 5 different varieties of lettuces so far, and I've got more to go. I'm planting tomatillos this year, so this is the perfect time to start them as well. Some of the herbs and spices that you can plant are chives. And then there's going to be also spearmint. You can do spearmint right now. I just planted a little bit of spearmint. But also coming up in the latter part of this month, there's going to be sage and oregano and dill, basil, and cilantro. So there's a whole bunch of those herbs that you're going to be able to plant now and over the next couple of weeks. So some of the other things that are on the menu for right now are beets. Now, beets typically for us, if you're going to direct seed them, would be a couple of weeks yet. I happen to start mine in seed trays. Yes, you can actually start beets in seed trays if you didn't know that. I've done it many times. It works just fine. Typically, they're in those seed trays plus or minus about 3 weeks, and then they're ready to go in the ground, and they do just fine. They produce awesome beets, and when you do it that way, you have the opportunity to thin them out. You have the opportunity to kind of plant them evenly and space them evenly. And honestly, I like the way it works. So I prefer to seed start most of my items. Some of the other things that are on the menu over the next week or 2 are my potatoes. Look for the video coming out on that, probably more towards this weekend. Also peas. Peas, you could have already probably planted your peas in the ground, but I'm going to wait. The Farmer's Almanac actually says the last week of February for me, and I wasn't quite ready for my ground anyway, so instead of trying to rush myself with ground preparation, I'm going to wait till probably at least another week. May not wait till the 28th, but at least another week before I go ahead and plant my peas. Those obviously I'll direct seed. Now you can actually start those in seed trays too. If you only had a few of them and you were going to do them in like a grow bag or a small raised bed, you absolutely can start those in seed trays. I'm clearly planting way too many of those because I have a 40 or 50 foot row depending on which bed I put them in, so I'm not going to try to do that. That would just be a nightmare. Some of the other things that are coming up that you can plant are going to be turnips, spinach, radishes, and probably I'm even going to throw in some rutabagas. So that actually would bring the total to 21 things that you could plant. Arugula, carrots, and I think that's about it. Now I'm going to be trying several types of carrots this year. I'm going to be doing a little trial and error to see which ones I like, which ones grow best. I'm going to try to grow carrots all through the year, all the way even through summer. I'm going to try to grow carrots completely and stagger plant them, succession plant them the whole time. And I'm going to try to incorporate some shade cloth throughout that process, which I'll do some videos on as I go forward. Arugula is another one. Arugula can easily be direct seeded, and if you're doing it in a raised bed or a grow pouch, no problem, just go ahead and direct seed it. Even in big rows like I've got, direct seeding is not a problem. I, however, still prefer to seed start mine, so I'm going to be seed starting mine next week. Again, it's another one of those that works just fine either way you want to do it, so seed starting works for me. So anyway, that is, I said 20 things. I think I actually gave you 21 with the rutabagas. But let me just show you real quick what I've got in front of me here. I have Super Choice tomatoes, Marglobe tomatoes, Haas tomatoes, Sweetie tomatoes, Amish paste tomatoes, bell pepper, jalapeno pepper, cayenne, habanero, Carolina Reaper, paprika. I've got, like I said, I think it's 5 varieties of lettuce I've started. My celery didn't do so hot, but I still have a few hanging in there, so I'm just letting them be and letting them grow at will. And I've also started kale and Swiss chard. And so, yeah, so there's a whole bunch of things that you can actually get going if you're down here in the south, but even if you're close, zone 7, certainly if you're in 9 and 10, you could have easily even probably already have started this, but if you haven't, go ahead and get started. Make sure you get all your seeds together. Make sure you check the dates on them. If they're very old seeds, you probably want to overseed them, because the older the seeds get, the less percentage of germination you'll get. So you just want to be kind of cognizant of that. And yeah, I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful time of year to start hitting the garden. Today happens to be about 69 degrees. You can clearly see I'm just in a t-shirt and shorts, which is my normal farm gear, my normal outside gear, all things. And so look for some upcoming videos. I'm getting ready to start shooting the videos. Well, I have been shooting the videos for the raised beds that I've been talking about in some of my other videos, if you've been watching. And yeah, so if you have any additional plants that you think should be growing now that you grow, please list them in the comments. If you got any helpful tips or just any information about maybe different things that you start in seed trays versus starting them directly in the ground. And if there's, by all means, if there's anything that I can help you with, yeah, please let me know. You know, none of us has a total grip on everything that you could grow in a garden. You know, it's just way too much, right? There's some things you don't even like food-wise, so you don't bother with them. But also, like I said, look for those videos coming up on potatoes. And, oh, I did fail to mention, I'm going to be doing a video very soon on flowers and why you should plant flowers in your garden. But 2 of the flowers that I literally just started yesterday are ageratum and celosia. So I'll include that in one of my upcoming videos real soon about flowers, because flowers are just an amazing thing for so many reasons to add to your vegetable garden. If you found some of this useful and you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the bell notification so you can get notified anytime I bring out videos. I'm trying to do a minimum of 1 a week. This is a mid-February update, and I'm going to try to do monthly updates for things that you should be planting, even start thinking about succession planting and how to maybe do some harvesting through all of that. So yeah, so I just hope that you found this information worthwhile, and I just again appreciate you so much for taking the time to watch this video. You are truly, truly an amazing blessing to me. Thank you. Until next time, take care and God bless you. Have an amazing day in the Lord.